Hello, everybody. It's part 5 in our Confrontation Series. We're wrapping it all up today. How can we use yoga and really coming into ourselves, gaining a little bit of strength? How do we do that when confrontation has ended? Stay tuned. So, the emotional effect that takes its toll on us after a confrontation, let me be very clear, is very real. And in today's video, I have 3 ways that will help you understand where that's coming from and what we can do about that going forward. We use yoga in our daily life to practice this. And so let's get started. If you're new to this channel, my name is Justin. I am a master connector. I am a certified yoga instructor and the creator of this channel where we discover ways to help you take control of your life and find some strength and some freedom. And it comes right through yoga. Whether we know it or not, or whether you know it or not, yoga is everywhere. The practice of treating people with kindness, humility, respect, standing up for yourself, and being very true to yourself is where it's all at. That's what this channel is about. So please give us a like. It really, really helps us on this channel. A thumbs up on that. Hit the subscribe button so that when new content comes out, listen, you're not going to want to miss what's coming out at the end of January into the beginning of February on here. It's going to be awesome. So please hit that subscribe button. If you have not checked out our Confrontation series, please back up and watch that as well. There's 4 other videos. We talk about what confrontation is. We talk about should you actually confront somebody? Then we talk about what happens if someone confronts you. And then we talk about ways to actually confront someone. So there's great ways in there. The link is in the description for the series. And this is the wrapping up, the 5th one. The first thing I want to start with, though, is I like to come back to where we need to take this back to yoga. I mentioned this a lot in the videos. Yoga is comprised of 8 limbs, and one of the limbs of yoga is the yamas and the niyamas. And one of the niyamas, it's an ethical practice, is what that is. It's practicing yoga off the mat. That's where this channel comes into play. But one of the niyamas is saucha. And saucha really is talking all about purity. It's really about being pure. And guess where that starts? You. You're not afraid of what you of who you are, what you do, and you don't have to hide any of that. That is where the emotion coming into this after confrontation is really important to remember. It's real, but you also remember being pure and being not afraid of your own thoughts and not afraid of your own feelings helps you with confrontation. When you get to this step, you are going to be emotional. You're going to feel emotion. But as you practice this, as you go farther with this, you're going to notice some big changes. Let's get started into the first way that you will notice that something has happened to you, maybe on an emotional or physical level after confrontation. That is physically. You may feel like you physically release something. If you are you practice yoga on your mat and you actually physically do yoga, or you do any other form of exercise, you understand what happens when you release something from your body, right? It feels like something's tight, and then all of a sudden it gets released. My friends, that is because we store things physiologically in our bodies. We store trauma, whether it's someone who ran a stoplight or a red light, or whether it's witnessing something very, 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 very rough, like a car accident, someone dying, PTSD, that all falls into that. But you may feel like you have released something. You may feel like your body has changed, physically changed. That's very normal. So just understand that if you have confronted someone and you feel something physically change, that is normal. You are normal, right? That's very normal. Number 2, and this is a big one. This is a big one. You may actually start looking at the relationship differently. Think about it. Especially if someone has confronted you and they ambushed you with a confrontation and you weren't expecting it. I want to say something to all of you. People are unaware of their own behavior. A lot of people unaware of their behavior. And they will also determine that yours is the problem if they're unaware of their own behavior. So an example would be as if someone has confronted you and said, I don't think that we should have that particular time slot on our schedule for a meeting. And you say, well, this is the time slot, and you have to come back to them and you have to say, well, here's the thing. For our business, for our community, for our family, for our household, this is the time that we're going to be doing it. And then confrontation starts, name calling starts, yelling starts, blame shifting starts. It becomes all about the other person and their schedule and what works for them better. Unfortunately, what that means is you're being blamed for their behavior. So that is normal to feel. You are going to feel some of that. That happens when you're dealing with more toxic people. You're dealing with people who don't understand what Saucha is. They are not operating from a place of purity. They're operating from ego instead. When you operate from ego, you are essentially determining that the world owes you everything and you don't have control over anything else. That's not what this is about. This is about being pure. This is about being honest. So if you see the relationship differently because of this, you're not alone. The third step here, and the third thing that happens, you actually may start to feel growth and the other person is not growing with you. So this is a big one for this third principle, this third point I'm making with you here. You are the one who makes it possible to move on with your life instead of winning. And that's hard, isn't it? We as humans, we want to win. We want to be correct. It doesn't work that way, especially in confrontation. Because remember from the second thing I mentioned, if there's ego involved, they don't understand that. They don't know. Narcissistic people are very, very, this is a big trait with someone who's narcissistic, sociopathic behavior as well. It's very one track, right? It's all driven from ego and self-centered. There's no purity going on in there. Something got lost. You can continue to try to win, or you can just move yourself along. And it's going to take a little bit of growth, and it's going to take a little bit of reflection. I have a bonus tip for you. Wouldn't you rather be at peace and pure with yourself than constantly thinking, why didn't I speak up? Why didn't I say what was on my mind? Why didn't I handle this differently? Why did my emotions get the best of me? Wouldn't you just rather be in a state where you know, I've done it? The confrontation is over. Whether you were confronted or you had to confront someone else, it is now over, and now it's time to move forward. Wouldn't you rather not think and stew about what may or may not have happened, about why you maybe did or didn't handle it a certain way? Wouldn't you rather just be okay with what happened and know that because you acted from logic, because you stood up, because you protected yourself, you are showing everyone else by protecting yourself that you are a loving person. A loving person is not someone who coddles everyone. A loving person is not someone who allows other people to get away with behavior so that they don't have to deal with it. That's not loving at all. That is the opposite of love. That is the complete opposite of love. That's called enabling. When you are true to yourself and you move from a place of purity and you move from a space of self-respect, it doesn't become about winning anymore. It now becomes about showing love. And that's what's really the most important. So, just to recap, you will feel like maybe you've released something physically. You may see the relationship differently. And that's okay because you're not in it for winning. And the third is that the growth is going to happen. And if you're growing and the other person is not growing, that's okay too. It's okay to feel that. And that bonus tip of remembering, it's normal. It's so normal to feel like you should have handled it a different way. But when you start practicing this, and when you start practicing Saucha, if it's to show love, you're never gonna go astray, right? You're never gonna go astray if it's always about love. It's the beauty of all of this. It's been wonderful to be with you all. Stay tuned. Great stuff coming up. Different location, some different things we're going to see. I can't wait to share it with you. And again, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, all those good things to support this channel. And it is my honor and pleasure to be with you always. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.